the second quarter, West Coast Eagles had 15 inside 50s to 4. They need to just give their forwards an opportunity to get on the scoreboard.
And all they need to do here, the Fremantle Dockers, is halve the margin. They don't have to trim the whole 37 points in one quarter. If they got it down to 15, 16 points, they set themselves up nicely for a last quarter. They certainly do. The game will be very much alive, BT. So another ball up in the middle here. Getting darker by the minute here. And the wind has certainly abated. Clancy Pearson, a sandwich. Came out with the ball, though. Fife now tackled by 3, so the Eagles look like they're on again because they're tackling in big numbers.
Oh, no, he walked into that tackle.
Yeah, the umpire explaining that.
Some players down for Freo. Duffield and McPhee have been quiet down back. Bradley and Main and Anthony quiet up forward and lower. Crowley and Hill in the middle of the ground have been quiet.
Scott Selwood out of the pack there. And eventually the Eagles maintain control through Lacroix. The brilliant Lacroix in his 82nd career game from halfback. Just pulled the kick out the corner of his eye. Saw something that looked like a Selwood, and it was Scott. Out of bounds. We'll throw it in on the neutral wing. The Chris Mayne wearing wing on that side of the ground.
Might throw Michael Johnson into that category. He's been quiet as well.
Very quiet. Looked very iffy, especially in the first quarter. Selwood and Scott underneath the pack there. Here's McPhee. Look at the players around the ball. This has been the order of the day in this game.
Cotton starting on the bench as well in this second half, so leaving a bit of petrol in the tank for a bit of an assault late in this quarter.
Started on the bench prior to the game at the first quarter, and now in the third. Doesn't look all that pleased about it, I might add.
Your kick, Mitch, your kick.
Doesn't help the best and fairest voting, does it? It's got incentives.
You do, you know, when you've got the game in control and you think you're going like, do start to think just a little bit about yourself, don't you, Mark?
You're kidding me.
Come on, Jono. Come on, Jono. When you had 1 goal to half-time, you thought, I need a couple of extras just to prop up my stats. There you go, the Eagles' shocking kick goes straight to Anthony. Now, what's he got? Now, he's got to be calm here. There's no good kicking it. He can't get the distance. Now he's got a one-on-one with Pavlich. He goes into Pavlich. Do you reckon he's put it out too far in front? Keep his feet. He's on here. Pavlich picks it up. Turns around. Right foot kick. Long ball. Maine's going to take the mark. Nice composure from the 3 Docker players.
Yes, full marks to Pavlich. His composure was great. He could have had a snap, and some players would have there, but a beautiful kick to Main. Jack Anthony, as you said, BT, needed to even hold it longer. Pavlich was one-on-one and could have just waited till he stopped and started and try and lose his opponent. Instead, he went for a kick that probably wasn't on. Here's Main. This will be a very important goal for them early in the third quarter.
Main lining up, 30 metres out, a little bit of angle, got it. Fremantle working their way back into this one.
Yeah, they certainly are, and you would have seen top of screen when Anthony took that grab. That's where you've seen Main start his run from. He nearly could have got the ball a little bit earlier than what he did, had to work all the way down, and then it's the unselfish play of Pavlich that gets the ball into his hands. But you'll see Main now, at the top of the screen, there he is going past the umpire. Could have been used short, went for his skipper instead, and in the end, Pavlich with a great centering kick in which Main was able to capitalise on.
Back to 31 points. Maine's got a couple. Brad Johnson, does this press? Can West Coast maintain it for a full game? I've noticed the numbers have been dropping off in second halves, Mark.
Well, it's very taxing. There's no doubt about it. So we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
All right, well, I don't know whether that was an inkling of it, but Nat Nui's still got some spring in the tip. But here come the Fremantle Dockers. I can smell it. Off half-back, Crowley. What do I do, he says. I'm not sure, so I'll go this way, that way, now to Bohr. So the Fremantle Dockers looking a lot more in control of things here. Here comes Hearn. Big crash with Fife.
Tough player, Bugger Hearn, isn't he? He's a South Australian boy who can kick it a mile, but that was full of courage.
Oh, yeah. It's like those metal cars they used to make instead of the plastic ones. He just gets a little bit damaged, but they can always knock the ding out.
He looks like an old Valiant, doesn't he?
Don't have to throw you away. There's Adam Selwood. Making plenty of time to drive this down the line on the head of Lynch. Over the back, Darling is there as well. Here's Shuey. Nice little controlled kick with the push around the corner. Oh, Rosa was superb to even. What does he do? Centre, it'll go for home. I think he was generally trying to centre it.
No, he certainly had a look. There was all Fremantle in the middle of the ground, so he took it upon himself, and that's what happened.
Jacko, I'm going to come to you shortly. I'll give you a question with notice. I want to know, for Fremantle, we know that Pitt's a runner and he's the sub today. Is there anyone out there that you think could come off early so that Pitt can get that extra bit of run? Here's Sandilands. Beautiful mark. Come to you in a moment, Jacko. Right through the middle, sizzling kick. Pavlich should have taken that in the jukes out in front. Here's Fife. Handball to McPhee. Needs to be clean. Got it the second time. Johnson's free. Now he's got to go long to Bradley. Bradley cuts back inside. Got him. I reckon it was a bit of a lucky kick in the end. Bradley is marked 35 out directly in front. As we go to Glenn Jakovich to answer that question, Jacko.
Well, BT Johnson's only had the 6 possessions. He's out of form, but they may need him because of the bit tall forward line for the West Coast. But I'd probably look at McPhee. He's only had the 8 possessions and has not had any impact out there for Fremantle.
Okay, kept the Bradley. Boy, to get it back inside 25 points. Crucial kick, can't afford to miss. We'll ride this one home with Kepler. Kick on the way, a little bit left to right, and offline, too far left.
3 points he's kicked today.
Oh boy.
And BT, just to add to that, last week West Coast kicked 3 points in the third quarter, and Essendon virtually won the game there. So Fremantle obviously would have been studying that during the week. Big moment here for West Coast is to hold the momentum of this quarter.
Yeah, the press definitely has dropped off in second halves. So told to play on here as Butler didn't panic and went into the pocket. So 59-29, an even 30-point margin here. Only 6 minutes into this third quarter. Sandilands to try and get a fist on it. Off hands comes McPhee. He backs up, has a look down the field. The kick to Bradley. Dropped the mark in the end. Difficult one. Hurt himself, winded himself in trying to get it.
Yeah, it's a tough one when you roll over the top of the football. Have a look at it on the replay here. Gets it in the mitts and just made a mess of it, really. Having a bad day today, Kepler. Needs to have a better second half.
Oh, Sandilands tricky out the back door. Ran past it, Shuey. Fife. Nate the Knife Fife trying to get it done. Running out of trouble here. West Coast Eagles. Around the corner. Kick more in hope than anything. Kennedy's there and so is Duffield. McCoskey applying the tackle. Ball spills loose. And we'll throw it in.
Duffield's only had 5 disposals for the game, guys. He's usually one of their high possession winners from half-back.
He is playing on McCoskey at the moment. Cox in front. Over the back, Bradley. McGinnity. Rosa in there. And so Cox doing a lot of the ruck work against Kepler Bradley. You wonder whether that is planned, but this one will be against Sandilands. Not over yet. I do get a feel that the Fremantle Dockers have certainly owned a good portion of this quarter so far. Lower. Oh boy, got too close to Nikoski. Good smother it was. Hearn. Fast hands Cox. Likewise foot. Goes down towards Lynch. Off hands Lacroix. Was almost into an open goal. Lynch was tackled. Picked up by Kennedy. Left foot on it. And a free kick's been played here. Which way will it go? It'll go to Lynch. So Lynch will get the free kick.
Ball was here when the free kick happened.
And McBurney just pointing out the finer points of this. It means Lynch will kick from 35 metres out directly in front to knock a bit of wind out of the sails of the Fremantle Dockers. Lynch already has one directly in front. He sprayed it. A big let off there for the Dockers.
Certainly was. Freo will certainly breathe a sigh of relief there, and they'll be looking. They've been good at the start of this quarter. They're more competitive, certainly around the middle part of the ground. So they'll be looking to take advantage from that.
There's Lower.
And this is where they need to get a bit more flow in their game, because if they allow West Coast to hold them up here, it just plays straight into their hands.
Exactly like that. That's how easily it can happen. And now Hearn gets on the end of this, nurses the little kick to Lynch. Now I reckon he can kick it from here. The crowd challenge him to go back and send it skyward.
Get rid of the glove, Q.
They want him to launch. launch. Here it goes. Here it goes. Get ready. The glove has gone. He will launch from 60. It's all about altitude here. We know the wind patterns will do the rest. Lynch comes in, hammers a long ball just offline. Minor score.
The shot he had before, he needed to kick it like that, not poke at it from 30.
McFarlane. He's a bit of an excitement machine. He had a Dallas first 6 years. But he's certainly coming good. Great mark taken by Cox. Look at the Eagles players peeling around the back. I wonder why Cox doesn't give that sometimes. He does like to kick the ball, and that's why. Kennedy's marked cleanly.
What happened there ended up on Monday there. Can't find McFarlane anywhere, so well done to spot the mismatch. Great catch by Cox, though. Contested mark's been a highlight of the West Coast Eagles' performance today.
It was the Kras movement then in the forward end that got that mismatch that you were talking about.
But look at the Eagles supporters just waiting and hanging on this. For his second goal, Kennedy comes in. That looks damn good. The crowd up out of their seats, and that's a big one.
Second goal for Kennedy now. Hasn't had a huge game. He's only had the 6 catches, 6 disposals, 4 good marks though, and 2 goals. So hasn't had plenty of touches, but has been a dangerous forward and a very good catch once again, and an even better kick. That wasn't an easy kick at all from a long way out, close to the boundary line. Just what the Eagles needed at the start of this quarter.
Boy, that Kepler Bradley miss at the other end's a big miss now, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Get them back to 25. Instead, it's 38.
Just allowed West Coast to settle after that.
Yep. Bounce favouring Nat Nui. Sandlin's with the second knock. On to Bradley. He's caught in the tackle. Was that it? Was an illegal disposal. The advantage is paid here and taken. Prittis goes to Nikoski. Nikoski a little bit slow with the ball to boot, but he got it off to Cox.
Good catch for a big fella.
Yeah, it was, and a missed kick as well. It was a mongrelly old thing coming at him. Now, Dean Cox also has some ability with the boot. Man on the mark is right on 50.
This will hurt.
It will indeed. To extend the margin to 44. Cox close to the man on the mark. Pulled it left, which they often do, searching for the journey up. They fly over the back when McFarlane. And in the end, a behind. McPhee, you just wonder, that sub, I reckon, Roo would be getting closer and closer for Fremantle.
Need something, don't they?
Yep. Fee goes wide, looking for Sandlands. Nat Nui gave himself room to come up with a big punch, and it's worked. That's a real discipline. Is that the difference in Nat Nui's game this year? He would normally have gone for the mark there.
Yeah, definitely. He's done that a few times today. He's gone up for the got the big jump, but then gone for the big spoil and just clears the area and allows his teammates to run onto it, especially against a big opponent.
Seems to be doing the more finite things of footy.
Tackling.
Yep.
His tackling's been very good.
The run-down tackle today was a goal saver. There's Hill, who's just has not looked like it today.
Just involved in more contest, Nat Nui. I think that's the difference. He's not relying just on a tap out or a clear possession. He's a lot tougher in the clinches.
Look at them work in tandem here, both of them. Cox and Nat Nui to Rosa. Fife with the tackle, who's boxed on valiantly today, and there's a free kick the West Coast way. I think it's Rosa.
He can kick it that far too, Rosa. He's got a beautiful kick.
So he'll go back and try and take some more wind out of the Dockers' sail.
Just got to start handballing and running a bit more, Fremantle. Once again in this quarter, they've had the same amount of kicks as handballs, whereas Eagles have had twice as many kicks to handballs.
Heading to his 100th game, he handballs off to Hearn, who winds up. the big boy, and he's offline to the right-hand side. You can see that a mile off. In the end, I think Rosa was probably a little annoyed.
Don't give us. A bit of selfishness doesn't hurt every now and then.
Well, if you don't give that, you're certainly in trouble, because Hearns is a wind-up expert.
But Hearn kicks from 60, Rosa kicks from 45.
Yeah. Comes back in. Fife. From half back.
Oops.
Oh, it's a horrible kick. It'll land just over the head of Sandilands and over the line out of bounds. So throw it in again. So now we start to scratch our heads and wonder where the ball is going to come from for the Dockers. Sandilands clear position, but Naitanui able to get the palm down beautifully to the front. Mundy through really heavy traffic was eventually stripped to the ball. Good little ball out wide from Shepherd. Nikoski almost threw it to Ebert. Throw it in again.
There's no real spark here by Freo. They've got to start taking some risks. They've got to start kicking the ball instead of handball. Even Mundy there trying to weave through when there was no passage.
Free kick should be to Sandilands. Nothing on offer there. Here's Lower. So, and why kick the ball as distinct from handball at Root?
So much pressure on Brian. There's no time and space to be able to look for targets. Just get it on the boot, get it forward, have your forwards in front.
Here's Hill. He's one they need going. This is his first clear run and kick today, I would think. Bradley stopped and Butler kept going. On to Hearn, fast hands. Look at the hands. That's a team in sync. Shuey to Butler. Further down the field to Kennedy, off hands here. Nikoski around the corner, goes long to Cox. Resting as a ruckman down there. Got McFarlane. McFarlane with a difficult bouncing ball, takes them on. Darling pursues, goes up the front and through the middle. Risky, but that's what Mark Rashudo said they've got to do.
And they've got to go again.
Go again. Michael Johnson is saying, come on, well, there's plenty of little options in front of you. There's Main, marked strongly with the hands out in front. That's the way we like to see it done. Stop, start again. Nothing. Mundy, short.
No urgency, is there?
No. Got to keep going, got to take a risk. Thought about going to Duffield around the back. Instead, they go back to McFarlane.
No wonder the forwards are struggling.
Yeah. Broughton. Not giving him a chance at all. And there's the kick from Crichton. Do a hammy then or just get a bit of cramp. Kicked it out of bounds on the full, whatever he did. Crichton. Now Lynch. They gave it back to them passively then.
Yeah, no danger at all about it. Not putting any pressure on the West Coast defence at all.
Hearn. Rovers able to cut it off. Gives the run to Crowley. He goes long and deep to a one-on-one with Anthony, caught behind. Got Glass under the ball. Geez, good defender, isn't he? KG.
Worsfold to be happy with that matchup. Glass on Anthony.
Yeah.
Be pretty comfortable.
And Glass has not touched the ball yet in this game. Has not had one possession. So
no, that's the quarter.
Is that for the quarter?
He's had two.
He's had two for the game. Oh, well, just does his job.
Eagles by 40. Sandilands trying to get something over the back. Lynch was there and ready. Hearn with a quick kick, but look at the Dockers players here. They need to support each other. Fife's got it. Got a little bit of breathing space. Lovely left foot off the outside of the boot. That is a remarkable goal. Nate, the knife, Fife.
It's goal of the year.
Out of nowhere.
A left foot check side running against the pattern of play. Have a look at this. A fair take in itself. It's a shocking bounce. That's nearly impossible. That is one of the hardest kicks in the game. I remember Wayne Carey doing one of those years ago, and Fife would be happy to be put in that category.
Under enormous pressure. Fantastic goal.
Oh boy, wowee, did you see that? Fife from the boundary line, the left foot banana off balance under pressure. All the things you shouldn't do, he did, and nailed the goal and one of the goals of the year. Fremantle looked like their sub was getting ready down there as well. Glenn, have you seen any movement? As Van Berlo takes the mark, turns around, hoofs the ball long. Main's got a one-on-one, something he'd liked. Hearn got back. Main juggling attempt, couldn't get it. Was really hot on winning the ball again. Surely he won't be penalised here. He hasn't got control of it. Oh, boy.
It's unfortunate, that rule, isn't it? But might have been the spark, Fife. It might create a spark for Freo, just what they need here in the third quarter.
Down to Glenn Jakovic.
Thanks, BT. Jaden Pitt is coming on, so Fremantle have activated their sub.
Oh,
Jesse Crichton out, boys.
A mess there too. That was a let off from Pavlich.
Need to do better there, Pav. Kick it with a bit of height.
So Pitt has come on, the boy from Geelong under-18s, the Geelong Falcons, with the Mick Turner set up there. There's the big crash by Nat Nui.
Fife.
Great grab by Fife. Great courage.
So here they come. That kick was going to Clancy Pearce. I'm not sure it was the right option. Nikoski around the corner, but McPhee, can he get back and cut off Lynch? Got to go. He did. It was well done to Broughton. He handballs wide and finds Grover. They reload on the other side. That's where the space is at the moment. McFarlane.
Good defence by West Coast.
Got to go. West Coast getting back now in numbers. And that's a average ball to Crowley. Crowley doing some of his best work, trying to draw the 50. Now where do they go? Down the line to a contest. Main setting himself from the back. In front, they get through somehow. Only momentarily though. And I think we'll have a ball up here, will we? No, the ball spills loose. De Boer was in there. So is Shuey. He wrestles it out in the end. Well done, Shuey. Good effort. Really good effort. Now Pritis sold some foot candy. Beautiful kick to Kennedy. Juggling mark, got it. Look at this. Selwood's over the top, and he's open if he wants it. Scott Selwood takes the mark, and there's a man in the goal square. There's no one on him. It's a free kick.
Boundary throw in, possibly.
I think they're going to have a boundary throw in here.
Final grab over the line, it's a throw in.
Okay, went over the line. You heard the umpire say. Yes, I got sucked in by the West Coast fans.
That Kennedy's mark, because he fumbled. He took it over the line.
Second bite was over the line. Sandilands. Here's Fife. He's been getting a bit of it in this quarter. Been all right for the game.
6 disposals this quarter.
Been good. Here's some run. Crowley, long ball. Main's got to work hard in the air. He got pushed out of the contest, surely, before the ball was in the vicinity. Pritis.
Freo could possibly try and throw things around a bit here. Pav's not having as much influence through the midfield at the moment. Maybe throw him forward.
Yep.
Get McPhee forward as well, because at least they move. At least they work hard down there and create some movement.
Yep, especially now that Pitt is on the ground as well. He could be one of those fresh runners off halfback. West Coast free here. Selwood kicks long towards Darling. Off hands by McFarlane. Comes to Nat Nui. Got the quick hands out. Sandilands. Not out of trouble here by any means. Crowley. So 34-point lead for the West Coast Eagles. 23 minutes gone.
Their forward pressure of the Eagles has been very, very good from minute one right through to this stage of the game. Fremantle just cannot get it out freely. Just with any clean ball.
4 minutes remaining in the quarter. Sidestep was clever by Crichton. They don't maintain possession. Rosa through the Grover tackle, but couldn't get through the second one. He took him on, surely. Thought he took Grover on. No, he didn't have prior opportunity, did he? Sandilands over the back. Here's Shuey again. Good in tight spots. Gives it off to Ebert. Ebert draws Nikoski to the ball. Same as McFarlane. And we'll throw it in again. So just under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. They could kick another one. The Dockers had set themselves a task in the last quarter, but at the moment, West Coast look like they're able to hold them. Pavlich, De Boer, poor kick to Anthony. Glass, nice mark. Well, it was a chest mark. Wasn't that nice, I guess?
His positioning was nice. I think
Yes.
that's what you were getting to intercept the kick.
There's Butler. To Prittis. Who was the player they subbed out again, Glenn?
It was Nick Lower, BT.
Yep.
Nick Lower and Jaden Pitt waiting to come on.
Yep. So Lower out of the game. Now the Eagles forced to go the long way. Ooh. Kick comes to Glass, who's going to go. Jack Anthony's right in the middle of him. Glass falls over and shoot the ball out the back door to Hearn. Well done in the end. And now Rosa. Really got great composure, the Eagles. Kick back inside to Shepherd trying to find his feet. Selwood was tackled, and in turn a free kick will go his way for in the back.
McGrath just sniffing around.
He is looking for a cheap one.
Probably should have given it.
Yeah.
He's better by foot. McGinnity down to the last 2.5 minutes. Probably got the message here that they look a little like they don't want to go back inside the corridor just to make sure they don't concede a late goal here at the moment, the Eagles. Shepherd tries to bullock his way through. In the end, he did a pretty good job. Rosa, likewise. Just wonder whether Lower is the right one to take out, Jono. He actually is one of the few players that looked like he had a bit of run, did he?
He was actually creating. He's been okay today. He actually was creating a little bit of run and overlap, and his use today hadn't been too bad. So, look, they've just opted maybe to get a more of a permanent forward, a traditional forward who can actually create and draw the ball.
Now they spread under the Dockers. Broughton sees something on and finds Johnson. Johnson takes the mark. Back inside, nursed the ball. Pavlich had to reach, couldn't get it to ball onto Pavlich. Pavlich over the top with another handball here, looking for the run of Mundy. Difficult handball out to Five, so they're trying to press forward here now. Five gathers. Kick around the corner high. Anthony in front. Prittis. Eagles out of defence, or are they? In just a little bit of trouble. Schofield went in. Now Pitt picks it up, hammers it in towards Main. Did well on that occasion. Might have been Butler with a hand in there. Goes back again. It was Butler. And now Smith. So the Eagles got some numbers. In the end, they win it out nicely. Darling couldn't hold the mark. It spills to Ibbotson. Ibbotson around the body. High ball. Clancy Pearce had the ball punched away by Butler.
A few players getting their hands on the ball in this third quarter. Hearns had 9, Roses had 7, and for Freo, Fife's had 8. Pavlich, De Boer, McFarlane and Crowley have had 5.
So with just under a minute remaining, a golden opportunity here for the Dockers to add to their score. Off hands, Michael Johnson around the corner. Good looking kick, it's coming back. I think it's there. It is. So with 45 seconds on the clock, Johnson goals.
Well, certainly gives them some hope now. They get a bit of a spark. They've had a couple of good goals this quarter. Five's kicked an absolute beauty from the boundary line. And now they get one out of a stoppage. And this is where the Eagles have dominated all day out of the stoppages. But to pinch one like that late in the quarter just keeps them alive, Roo.
Yeah, they got 3 goals for the quarter now to the Eagles 1. So they're right in this game. There's still 28 points of difference. If they could get another one, it'd be great.
3 goals to 1 here for the Fremantle Dockers in this quarter. And believe me, 28 points adrift is nothing in modern footy. Mark Harvey senses something. 43 seconds left. De Boer out of the middle. This would be a disaster for the Eagles. Did he get rid of it? He did. Butler through, aggressively running. The Eagles, Cox, a hammering ball. Brilliant ball to Lynch. Lynch can go back and kick a long way. Boy, that player ran inside the protected zone. Duffield goes to Kennedy's being held. He'll get the free kick. No, it's going the other way. Wow. McFarlane will get it. Oh, boy. So, 28 points. 10 seconds. There'll be no further score in this one, I wouldn't have thought. And at 3-quarter time, the teams will go in 28 points apart. 2 seconds on the clock.
Is that play with Kennedy and McFarlane? That's the free there, I think. That was the free. So
that's fair
good
call.
umpire. Well done.
Correct call in the end by Hayden Kennedy. Siren sounds. Eagles would be just a touch disappointed. 2 goals in time on then for the Fremantle Dockers, and frustration simmering over here at the moment as the players go back to their areas. A big last quarter on the way. West Coast by 28. Can the Fremantle Dockers get back into this one? We're about to find out.